It was a very hard race. The sweat was pouring into our eyes. We need to do more.
We are the outlaws.
After a collision,
Great competition, great entertainment. What do you want more?
the first pole position qualifying session and race ever here in Kuwait delivered the drama and the action that we were all hoping for. Pole position qualifying was open to anybody, but it was Sharjah that finished top of the pile. Faz Marine finished a best ever second for Arif Al Safain and Francis Nacella, and XCAT showing that they still have what it takes to be challengers, finishing in third. The actual race was incredible, with plenty of drama from the opening lap. It was Faz Marine that bolted into an early lead, being chased down by Sharjah. Eventually Faz Marine had to retire and Sharjah took the lead. But after a pretty spectacular engine malfunction, they fell away, leaving the door open for Victory, our championship leaders, to take the win. A historic first ever win for the UIM XCAT World Championship here in Kuwait. In second place, it was boat number 17 of Kuwait, with Abdulatif Alamani skippering through to the podium, and the third position taken by a resurgent Team GB, the 2023 champions, having been upside down in the water only a day before. But now, with those results in the bank, it is all about the second pole position qualifying, the XCAT run, and of course, the second Grand Prix. Welcome back to Kuwait. We are here for the second pole position qualifying session of our Grand Prix in this incredible place. I'm Stuart Borro and I will be talking you through today's qualifying. Qualifying session today consists of half an hour, unlimited laps, and the teams cannot come back to the pontoon. They can't change their propellers. They cannot change their ballast. They can't fuel up. Conditions today are flat, but again, it is warm. Now, because the conditions are, well, considerably better than yesterday, we are already seeing faster times posted across singular laps than we did yesterday, and we'll run through the free practice sessions imminently. But for those who missed yesterday's action, here's a recap and a highlights of what happened yesterday. The UIM XCAT World Championship has arrived here in Kuwait for the very first time. Victory head out to pole position qualifying and race one top of the pile. Will they stay that way? Let's find out. We have a green flag here for pole position qualifying. We are halfway through qualifying here as Faz Marine doing well. They've posted a 2:32.6. That is a fantastically astonishing time from Faz Marine. A wonderful, wonderful qualifying time. It's a competitive time potentially, and it is a pole position type of time. 2:39 and 196 hundredths of a second. What an exciting pole position qualifying we have had. It has been exactly what we wanted. How excited are we all for this? Throttle down, we've got a green flag, and we are racing here in Kuwait for the very first time. But if there's one crew that know about the waters out here in Salamia, it will be those two. What a moment that would be. We don't write the scripts, but if we could, this is what we would write. Team GB with that distinctive livery, the nose lifting under pressure. Victory, slowing to the finishing line. Throttle down and victory! Boat number 7 are the very first Grand Prix winners in Kuwait. And we've had the green flag for our 30-minute session here in Kuwait. So we had official practice earlier today, which saw, as I say, very, very competitive times, nearly 10 seconds faster than the qualifying times that we saw posted yesterday in the face of the gusts from the Gulf and quite choppy waters out there. So we had Victory Team, boat number 7, top of the standings with a 2:21. They were the inaugural winners of the Kuwaiti Grand Prix, followed by Sharjah and Team GB. Faz Marine with a 2:22 in 4th. Defending champions, boat number 96, Fujairah Racing Team in 5th. XCAT, who finished 3rd in the first qualifying pole position session here in Kuwait. They were in 6th, but speaking to Seb, he was saying that they were just happy that their engines started. So positive from them as well. The others all tinkering and not managing to put a full lap together. So as the XCATs head out into the water, we will speculate, pontificate, and be optimistic about the starting grid for tomorrow's second Grand Prix here in Kuwait. And there we see Team GB heading out onto the water. And they will be coming down the road. Will they head down the road all the way to the top step? We will find out. Lots of work and effort put into that XCAT over the last few days after they inverted on day 1. Now at 2:20, 2:25 a lap, we'll probably see 7 at best competitive times put in by the teams. Some of the XCAT crews will hold back, waiting for cleaner water. When it's like this, it is pristine, it is flat, it is like tarmac. As our championship leaders and winners here yesterday head through the timing buoys as the clock starts ticking. They'll take the high road, they'll take the low road. They don't mind which one it is as long as they qualify in the top 3. As Isa Al-Ali and Salim Al-Adidi tackle what is a very different circuit today than the one that we have had over the last few days here in Kuwait. Unlike racing on tarmac on land, the race circuit here is constantly shifting under your hull. And that is part of the complexities of offshore XCAT powerboat racing here in the 2025 UIM XCAT World Championship. Victory are 19 points ahead of their closest competitors, Team GB. There's 105 more points on offer between now and the final race in Dubai in but a few weeks' time. As they expertly round the final tricky buoy. This is a tricky bit of the circuit as well, to be fair. This has got wind usually right in your bow, with the swells just hitting that starboard side of the XCAT. Not ideal. But they've managed to keep it fairly flat. Victory are very good on flat water. Almost like an ice rink. But they're going to post their first time here as they go through the gates. It is a 2:21, 371 hundredths of a second. You will hear me talk about the hundredths of a second because in the first qualifying session of this Grand Prix, it came down to literally tenths of a hundredth of a second. It is super tight and super competitive here. Team GB now. They are the 2023 world champions, as you can see on the side of the hull. Scott Williams and Martin Campbell have raced together for quite a while. They've raised a lot of silverware over the years. Off screen, we've had the defending champions, HPI Fujairah Racing Team, post a 2:58. They are struggling at the moment, but they will come good. They always do. Team GB taking it nice and reserved around there, taking a different line to victory. Much straighter line. They didn't want to scrub the speed off. Spoke to Scott earlier. He was saying that he had some issues yesterday, that they had about 80% of the power that they probably would have wanted. But we all know that Team GB can really get that XCAT purring. And they have got the balance lovely there. And we have a 2:28 and 500th of a second. And now the times are coming in thick and fast. Faz Marine, boat number 3. They have already posted the fastest time here. Arif Al-Safane and Francis Nocella. 2 minutes 20 seconds. As they look to build their momentum from yesterday. They qualified a very respectable second. They led the first Grand Prix here in Kuwait. And only due to a few mechanical gremlins did they not manage to finish the race yesterday, but they were hugely competitive. But they seem to have ducked out of that and headed over to the milling area. But they are top of the tree at the moment, with victory behind them, over a second behind them, and then Team GB a further 7 seconds back, but I suspect there'll be more in there. We've got defending champions Fujairah Racing Team have just gone through the timing, boys, and they are now the fastest XCAT out there. These XCAT crews have not come to mess around. They have come to play. 2 minutes, 19 seconds and 600th of a second. As
The brothers Giuseppe and Rosario Schiano di Cola, champions last year, took the XCAT World Championship trophy back home to Napoli, and they are currently leading the way. These are quicker times, by the way, than we have seen all week here. Practice this morning was quick. This is quicker. They were sandbagging. They had more left in the tank. As we're on board with Sharjah, who are looking to start a flying lap and get themselves on the board. Team GB have just posted a time 1 second quicker than their previous. So they are finding time. Everybody is finding time. But it is that boat there, that XCAT crew, who are in pole position at the moment. We've had 12 minutes of qualifying. And if it is anything like it was yesterday, we have plenty of drama yet to come as Victory look to set a new fastest lap for the session, and they do. Victory scrub nearly a second off of HPI Fujairah Racing Team with a 2 minutes 18 and 943 hundredths of a second. Victory Team are not going to give this up easily. Winners yesterday, championship leaders today, pole position first tomorrow, perhaps. You can see there, expertly weaving that XCAT around the perimeter of this circuit. That final corner there, they really all scrub off so much speed. It's like they want to line themselves up true as an arrow and fly through that final straight. To be fair to all the crews, this is only the first time we've been to Kuwait. There are other circuits on the calendar that we go to and have been going to for years, so the teams know the setups. They can be prepared. This is what is so beautiful about coming to a new location. And what a wonderful location it has been. As Team GB continue slowly building, they have scrubbed another second off their best time. They're now down to 2:26. I suspect they have a lot more pace in that XCAT. But it is Victory that you're looking at right now. They've just arced in behind Faz Marine, who are in third currently. When they head through the timing boys, their timed lap will commence. They have been in the milling area, no doubt chatting tactics, as Victory are not going to beat their best time, but this has been a sighting lap, so no worries for them. And there you can just see how close we are to the shore here. Now the reason the XCATs are coming in so close to shore is just to get the best possible point of entry and attack as they go through the timing boys right there. Now you'll notice we're a few XCATs short. There are a number of XCAT crews just getting ready to enter the fray. Boat number 16, Mate USA, have just roared into life, and they will be joining the flotilla shortly. So, as it stands. Victory. HPI Fujera Racing, Team Faz Marine, Team GB, and Sharjah in 5th. But Faz Marine are on a flying lap. Arif and Francis, a new pairing for the year. But they're starting to get to grips with each other and with this Faz Marine made hull. It's a brand new hull. And it seems to be doing the job just fine, doesn't it? Slicing through the Kuwaiti tide here. Hit a big swell there, scrubbed a lot of time and speed off. They're going to flirt with the buoy. They do not make contact, which is important. Contact is strictly prohibited and does face penalties, I'm afraid. And boat number 17, Kuwait, has joined the party. Second yesterday in the first ever Grand Prix here, which was fantastic to see. And Kuwait this morning took part in a long distance challenge. More on that in our documentary and highlights programming. Make sure that you tune in wherever you get your XCAT content from. If you just tuned in, this is the second pole position qualifying session from the inaugural Grand Prix here in Kuwait. This is the second round of the 2025 UIM XCAT World Championship. And we are, with every single spin of a propeller, every single rotation from those Mercury ROS engines, getting ever closer to knowing who our 2025 champion will be. And the conditions here are now looking perfect for offshore racing, if you like it flat, as Victory do. But we're on board now with Mate USA, who are going to have a look at the course, get a sight in, see what's happening, gauge where they're at, and then hammer down. Just a word on Kuwait while we're watching Mate USA fly into what will be a timed lap. The relationship between Kuwait and the sea is hundreds, if not thousands, of years old. Their relationship with racing on water, no matter what formats it is in, is also steeped in heritage and history. And it is a pleasure to be here with the championship. The hospitality has been second to none. It has been absolutely fantastic. And adding new circuits to our calendar in the championship is a welcome boost every single time. I have absolutely loved my time here in Kuwait. But that must wait for the meantime. I shall leave the Kuwaiti Tourist Board to do their thing as we head back to the action here off the coast of Salmiya in Kuwait. As boat number 17, Kuwait, look very, very composed. So they are the only XCAT running two Mercury ROS 300 engines. That is part of an ongoing experiment and test for sustainability of the engines moving forward. XCAT tries wherever it can to be as environmentally responsible as possible. We clean up after ourselves. We use ethically derived biofuels where we can, and we transport everything we need as sustainably as we can, and this move towards potentially alternative engine size and displacement is part of that. And as we can see, particularly the podium and Kuwait, boat number 17, coming into this second round, they were sat fourth in the championship. So we know that the engines are fast and competitive. But I'm no scientist, and we will see what comes of it. They've got a 235 at the moment. We know they've got more speed in them than that. Looks a little bit wayward through there. And ahead of them, Sharjah have just flown through with a 219, which puts them in second position. Bear in mind, they were on pole yesterday, and they then took the lead of the Grand Prix and then suffered a horrendous engine failure. The Mercury ROS racing engine being held on by what looked only like a fuel line. It was an odd failure, actually. Just looked like one of those freak accidents where the casing just came away, and that was that. Everything else looks fairly robust. And Kuwait do have more time. Stocked up. They are taking 2 seconds, off of their previous best. So we've got 8 minutes left of this 30-minute qualifying session here on the waters off the shores of Salamia. Faz Marine are now making a beeline for an attacking time as Sharjah look to scrape off just 0.04 of a second would put them in first. Sounds easy, and it is from here in the commentary booth, but trust me folks, it is much tougher to do than I am making it sound. As some of the XCATs start to pull back and leave the circuit. Team GB are done. They are currently in 5th and they're coming back in. But Sharjah are on the charge here and are desperate to replicate their form from yesterday. Sean Sorrenti and Mikhail Kitashev, the duo that since they have paired up have been pretty impressive, to be honest with you. So they are through the timing, boys. The stop clock is started. Now we can see Team GB have decided that enough is enough. They can't get any more out of their XCAT right now. Better for them to come back in, look through the numbers, analyse the data, and get ready to go again in both the SpeedCat run that we have coming up later today, drag racing XCATs. I've got to say, it's the kind of thing I dreamed of when I was a kid. And then, of course, tomorrow's Grand Prix. It is exceptionally hard at this stage of qualifying for anyone to find any more time. But somebody has, and that somebody is boat number 3 of Faz Marine. They have shaved 0.06 of a second off of Victory's 2:18.9. Faz Marine are leading this pole position qualifying. I very quickly said hello to Ragesh, who's the team manager at Faz Marine, on my way into the paddock earlier today. He said, "You've seen nothing yet. Hopefully you see something special later." Well, guess what? That man knows what he's talking about. So it's Faz Marine, Victory Team, Sharjah, HPI Fujairah Racing Team, Team GB in 5th, Kuwait in 6th, Mate USA in 7th. Energima have not hit the water and posted a time. Neither have XCAT. So plenty to write home about at the moment. As Sharjah are not done yet. We've got 4 minutes, just 4 minutes left of qualifying. And there you can see Energima, who have limped back to the pontoon. Desperately disappointing for them. But there are green shoots of optimism out of Energima. When they managed to get the power down, they have been competitive, and we know that the crew, we know what they have to offer. So keep an eye on them for sure. Victory here, yesterday's winners. They don't look like they have let up at all. They are looking to wrestle the lead of this qualifying session back from Faz Marine. Two teams based out of the UAE. As Faz Marine line themselves up for another flying lap. We've probably got 1, maybe 2 laps left in the ones that are out there now. But it is Faz Marine holding all the cards right now as defending champions HPI Fujairah Racing Team go back in for a stunning pole position win, it would have to be said. Just heard vai from their team manager's position, which just means go rather aggressively in Italian. Victory here. They are not going to better their time, but I'm assuming that they are lining themselves up for a competitive lap. Faz Marine, on the other hand, are flying, but not as fast as Q8. Who, by the way, have been quietly getting on with business. Got themselves down to a 2:28. As Sharjah enter the fray once more off of screen with their time slipping away to move from 4th. It's just a second or so in it as well. There's nothing in this. Faz Marine look to have scrubbed just a little bit too much time off, but that's that old racing phrase, isn't it? If it looks slow, it's probably quick. As Faz Marine are still on 1:45, 46, 47. They are in pole position. As it stands, they will start tomorrow's Grand Prix at the tippy top of the tree. You can see that XCAT wrestling with the waves, but they are hanging on and hanging on and hanging on, and they have just about bettered their time again. 2:17.980. That is a very formidable set of times that they have put in front of us here today, and they know it. We're into the last 5 seconds of qualifying here, and the checkered flag on qualifying has been waved. Faz Marine coming back into the pontoon. There are still some XCATs that have gone out there before the checkered flag was waved. We've got HPI who cannot better their time because they have obliterated their previous time. They are second. The defending champions move up to second position. Boat number 96 pushing Victory Team down into third. It's Faz Marine, HPI Fujairah Racing Team and Victory Team. Except it isn't, because Sharjah have just flown through the timing boys and posted a time of 2:17 and 400ths of a second, half a second faster than Faz Marine. What a grandstand finish to this qualifying session. You cannot take your eyes off it for 1 second. Sharjah leading the way. Faz Marine in second. Defending champions HPI Fujairah Racing Team in third. Victory Team, yesterday's race winners, in fourth. They will start as it stands in exactly the same position that took them to victory in race one here, so maybe not the worst thing in the world. Team GB posting a very admirable fifth. Kuwait, who are out there doing their thing right now, are currently in sixth. They could move on up. Make USA in seventh, and then non-starters for Energima and XCAT. They did not make it out onto the water. Kuwait have pulled out of their lap. You can see there they've just throttled down. They've had a long day already, to be fair to them. So for a second day in a row, Sharjah are pole sitters. You can see both of their Mercury ROS engines bolted on, and not just bolted on, but doing a heck of a job. There are adverts, and then there's this. What a fantastic performance from Mikhail Kitashev and Sean Torrenti as they prove that it was no fluke, that this is very much a pole position set XCAT by design. What a fantastic, fantastic podium finish. So just a reminder that this is to dictate the starting grids for the second Grand Prix here in Kuwait. We'll take you through the final standings imminently. Kuwait have decided, you can just see in the background there, I'm just powering through. And the pontoon now playing host to most, if not all, of the XCAT teams and crews that were out. And we have final standings incoming as Energima and Team GB take flight and are being removed. And so, standings we have Sharjah in pole position, Faz Marine in second, HPI Fujairah Racing Team in third. That completes our top three. Victory Team in fourth, Team GB in fifth, Kuwait in sixth, Mate USA in seventh. And that rounds off our second pole position qualifying session here in Kuwait. Thank you very much for joining us for what has been a thrilling qualifying out there on the water. And coming up, we have the SpeedCat run. Who will be our SpeedCat champion for Kuwait? And then, of course, the second Grand Prix here which will see Sharjah, boat number 9, starting in pole position.
It was a very hard race. The sweat was pouring into our eyes.
Power isn't special. We don't fit on your canvas. We burn it all to
We need to do more.
'cause we are the outlaws.
A collision. Great competition. Great entertainment. What do you want more?